and to see kind of what they've taught us growing up and how to treat people and to do the right thing even when it's hard.
And our family will stick together and we'll walk this road because we know that the good Lord will hold our hand and take us through. So
the world's saying the complete opposite about them.
I've never met two people that have the character and the integrity that my parents have. So
it's like we've said, the truth always wins, and you know what? Sometimes you gotta go through the valleys to get to the top, and we weren't made to break.
Todd and Julie Chrisley's federal trial ended with a decision. The pair, famous for their USA Network reality show Chrisley Knows Best, was found guilty on all counts in a federal court in Georgia after a nearly 3-week-long trial, according to Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Also found guilty of wire fraud was Julie. They were charged with criminal bank fraud and tax evasion after it was claimed that they provided forged documents when applying for loans and rental property. Hey everyone, welcome back to Topish. We have some exciting stories that are full of lip-smacking delicacies, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. With that being said, let's begin. The Chrisleys were charged with 12 charges of bank and wire fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy by a federal grand jury in August 2019, all of which they have denied. The trial began on May 16th and is now ongoing. On August 12th of that year, Todd defended himself on Instagram, placing the responsibility on a member of the family's trusted staff and asserting that he had been stealing from them. It all began in 2012, according to the reality star, and featured all kinds of really horrible activities like fabricating bogus documents, forging our signs, and threatening other workers with violence if they said anything. The couple still faces federal accusations for allegedly dodging federal taxes, despite having their state tax evasion allegation against them in Georgia dismissed in October 2019. A federal judge condemned the Chrisleys on November 21st. Todd and Julie Chrisley, who are they? The married hosts of the self-titled reality series Chrisley Knows Best are Todd and Julie. The series made its USA Network debut in 2014, and part 2 of its 9th season will begin in June. A 10th season, which is anticipated to start later this year, has also been renewed for the show. The protagonist of the show is the patriarch Todd, who is known for his brutally honest discipline of his 5 kids, Lindsay, Kyle, Chase, Savannah, and Grayson. Growing Up Chrisley, a documentary series that chronicles the lives of Chase and Savannah as they approach adulthood, was inspired by the family turmoil. Additionally, Todd is the host and producer of the speed dating and matchmaking series Love Limo. After being charged with omitting approximately $2 million in state taxes between 2008 and 2016, Todd and Julie were arrested on 12 counts of bank and wire fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy in August 2019. Additionally, the prosecution said that they utilized their production firm, 7C Production, to conceal from the IRS over $1 million in reality TV income, and that Todd gave instructions to a worker to falsify income and asset records. The Chrisleys turned themselves in and asserted their innocence at the time of the arrest. The Georgia Department of Revenue agreed that the Chrisley Knows Best actors had overpaid in 4 of those years and owing nothing for the other 4, clearing them of their state tax evasion accusation in October of that year. For just 1 year of improper filing, they had a net liability of less than $77,000 in back taxes. Why are Todd and Julie Chrisley currently facing charges? Todd and Julie are still facing federal charges for allegedly evading federal taxes during those same years, despite the Georgia Department of Revenue signing a settlement agreement that put an end to a 2-year investigation into the couple's alleged state tax liabilities, according to a press release shared with People at the time. Both are charged with 5 counts of bank fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, 1 count of tax fraud, 1 count of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit bank fraud. Additional charges of wire fraud and obstructing the justice are pending against Julie Chrisley, Atlanta's Fox 5 reported. Peter Tarantino, the Chrisleys' accountant, is accused of 2 counts of knowingly filing false tax returns, as well as 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. When did the trial for Todd and Julie Chrisley start? According to the Tennessean, the Todd and Julie Chrisley trial's jury selection started on May 16th and was followed by opening remarks on May 17th. The couple's trial in Atlanta, where the indictment was filed before they traveled to Tennessee, is anticipated to take 3 to 4 weeks. What were the opening remarks in the Chrisley trial? In her opening statement on May 17th, Assistant U.S. Attorney Annalise Peters said that Todd and Julie had presented fictitious documents to banks, inflating their wealth in order to borrow over $30 million, which they had then burned on their opulent lifestyle and hidden money from the IRS. According to Insider, Peters told the jury that they make up their documents and they lie through their teeth to obtain whatever they want, whenever they want it. Bruce H. Morris, the attorney representing Todd Chrisley, accused Mark Braddock, the couple's former employee, of impersonating Todd and perpetrating the fraud behind the couple's backs after he was fired in 2012. Even after their relationship with Braddock was severed, the duo maintained their act, according to Peters, who called him a fraudster. According to the publication, Tarantino's lawyer claimed that his client was in over his head and unfit to manage the Chrisleys' affairs, and noted that he failed the CPA exam multiple times over 20 years. Tarantino is not a criminal, the lawyer said, despite his lack of credentials. Liking the video so far? Then go like, share, and subscribe now. What kind of punishment would Todd and Julie Chrisley receive if found guilty? People spoke with tax lawyer Dawn Delia when the Chrisleys were first charged in 2019, and she described the repercussions the pair would experience if found guilty of the alleged crimes. At the time, Delia stated that the IRS would be able to seize all of their assets in order to pay off the debt if the case went to trial and the jury found in the government's favor. They are facing a very serious case, according to her, and the IRS raises the accusations from administrative to criminal when it's a very significant case. If the jury finds in their favor, she continued, Todd and Julie may face up to 5 years in prison for tax evasion and perhaps even longer. What was the result of the trial for Todd and Julie Chrisley? Todd and Julie were found guilty on all counts on June 7th in a federal court in Georgia, following a trial that lasted almost 3 weeks. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, they were found guilty of conspiring to conduct bank fraud conspiring to defraud the United States, and tax fraud. Also found guilty of wire fraud was Julie. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, they were found guilty of conspiring to conduct bank fraud, conspiring to defraud the United States, and tax fraud. Also found guilty of wire fraud was Julie. According to Insider, Peter Tarantino, the couple's former attorney, was also convicted of conspiring to cheat the U.S. government and knowingly filing fraudulent tax forms. The Chrisleys might spend up to 30 years in prison, according to the source. What is the sentence for Todd and Julie Chrisley? According to Insider and Fox 5 Atlanta, a federal judge sentenced the Chrisley pair on November 21st. Todd was given 12 years in jail and 16 months of probation, while Julie was given 7 years in prison and 16 months of probation. According to Insider, Tarantino was also given a 36-month prison term. The couple's former accountant, who was found guilty of participating in their fraud scheme in June, is scheduled to report to prison on May 1st, 2023, after having hip surgery, according to the publication. Let's now discuss how the kids will fare following the sentencing. In the episode of her podcast, Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, that aired on Monday, Savannah Chrisley announced that she would be adopting her niece, Chloe, 10, and her brother, Grayson, 16. Prior to learning that both of her parents had been convicted of crimes, including bank fraud and tax evasion, and had earned lengthy prison sentences, the 25-year-old reality TV star talked about the possibility of becoming a legal guardian. 4 days prior to my appearance in court, the former pageant queen recalled, being here is just so difficult. What will happen to my family and I is a mystery to me. I understand that the near future is going to be really challenging, and I may not be able to go back to live with both of my parents, she said. That's the likelihood, those are the odds, and that's my new normal, she continued. The Georgian actress sobbed as she thought about raising her sister and niece. She rose to stardom with her appearances on Chrisley Knows Best from 2014 to 2021. Savannah expressed worry that they would not be able to spend their first Thanksgiving together as a family and would instead return home on Tuesday with custody of a 16-year-old and 10-year-old, even though the two will not begin their term until January 15, 2023. Savannah then lamented that Grayson and Chloe would have to wonder about their parents. The most challenging aspect, in my opinion, is figuring out how to teach 2 young children who are still developing, then even the situation's management, she mentioned on her show. That's a really challenging thing. Later, she added, I must set a positive example for Chloe and Grayson, no matter how bad it gets. I have to show up. Todd and Julie reportedly petitioned a judge recently not to arrest them for the benefit of their suicidal adolescent. According to their attorney, Bruce Morris, who spoke to DailyMail.com on a recent Tuesday morning, they intended to appeal the penalties. Savannah most recently supported her parents by using Instagram. She tweeted a verse from preacher Kimberly Jones on Twitter that said, "Noah didn't stop building the ark to defend himself to everyone who despised and doubted him. Keep constructing your ark. The rain will speak for itself." A bottle of champagne that her pals had brought to her house to cheer her up was featured in a selfie that her sister 𝐤𝐨𝐬 Chrisley posted on social media. Chrisley had been estranged from her famous father, but they had recently patched things up. Their brother Kyle implored his followers not to judge and quoted Matthew 7, verses 1 through 3. That ends today's video. Like and share this video to stay up to date on their progress, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Topish keeps you up to date on the latest Hollywood celebrity news, drama, and gossip. Subscribe to our channel and check back for new videos and updates. We'll see you in the next video. Topish keeps you up to date on the latest Hollywood celebrity news, drama, and gossip. Subscribe to our channel and check back for new videos and updates. We'll see you in the next video.